What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr Wargames, and today, as massively requested, I am bringing you a ninja test hand video. Now, the best way to kind of watch this is check out Jesse Cotton's videos. He does incredibly well with them, and definitely check out his duel at YCS Vegas. You'll see how the deck can operate and how he can kind of change stuff up with his side deck as well. However, what we're going to do today is we're going to do 2 test stands going first, 2 test stands going second to show you how this deck operates. It is very control focused and it does play during your opponent's turn, so that's when you're probably going to combo the most. But as I showed you in one of the shorts, there is a ninja combo that's really kind of cool for the deck as well. So if you want to see more content from us, then please make sure you smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe. Getting a video like this above 50 likes in the first 24 hours will unlock additional content for you as well. After that, a very decent shuffle and a good old cut, our opening hand of 5 for these ninjas will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's kind of a cool hand already, because with Tabari, you've got the ability to fusion during your opponent's turn. What you kind of want the most is really like a Hanzo, just to get into your ninjutsu arts. That being said, with all of these monsters, you've got abilities to kind of special summon them for free. It will lead you into a Maizen, and like I said, this is a very control-orientated deck, so you've got to be kind of careful in how much you push out. But even looking at this board, you've got a nice way of stunning an opponent's board with this, but you can probably hold this back in case they break your board. You've got Dancing Leaves, which gets you into your Hanzo quite nicely. So you need to target a ninja monster or a face-down defensive monster, and then you tribute it. And the best thing about that is because we've got the Tabari, we'll be able to fuse during our opponent's turn using Green Ninja, and that will then allow you to trigger your opponent, flip their face down and then tribute their face down monster, which is really kind of cool. So you've got more forms of interruption, which is really awesome. So, enough kind of explaining the hand that we've got, let's start to play it. So, keeping in mind that Tabari has the ability to ditch itself to special summon a ninja monster from the hand in face up or face down defense vision. Mitsu can special summon herself if you control a ninja or a face down defense vision monster, and then if a monster is special summoned to your field face up, again you get to target one of them, flip it face down, and special summon this card from the hand. So we've got the ability to get all 3 of these onto the board without even really worrying too much. The only issue is we flip the Tabari face down. We kind of want to keep him face up. Just trying to think of the best way to get around on this one. I mean, like, you can ditch the Tabari to special on one of these, but the fact that both of these do it themselves, there's no real worry to do it. You could contact fuse your board already and go into a Maizen, which would probably be your most defensive play. So, what we'll do here is we'll normal summon the Tabari. I'm going to use Mitsu's effect to special summon itself. Now, the thing with Mitsu is if you control a ninja card, which you do, you get to special summon this card from hand. And when your opponent activates a monster effect, it's a quick effect to target a face-down defensive monster you control and change it to face-up defense. So that's where we're going to special summon down Mitsu. And then we're going to get the ability of being able to, if a monster is special summoned to your field face-up, except during a damage step, you can target one of them, so Mitsu itself, and then you can choose to flip it face down to special summon this card from the hand. So by doing so, what you're then going to use is you're going to be using Tabari. You can either keep Tabari face out as a quick effect fusion for during your opponent's turn. And the reason you do that is you'd actually get to book a moon with your Green Ninja. So you special summon down your Green Ninja, you're going to flip the Mitsu face down, which isn't what you want to do because it does give you the ability to negate, but it still puts in a lot of work. Then what you can do, if you wanted to, is you could use Tabari to contact fuse now, but ultimately what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set the ninjutsu art of Dancing Leaves, and what that will allow me to do is during my opponent's turn, I can set up a Book of Moon, and I can set up the ability to kind of negate stuff as well. So you've got the ninjutsu art of Dancing Leaves, which is already active. You can set the Book of Eclipse if you want to. I'm not going to. I'm going to hold on to that just in case. And then off the back of that as well is the best thing about Maizen is when you control, or while you control a face-down defensive monster, your opponent's monster cannot target this card for attacks. And when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you get to special summon a ninja from the deck in face-up or face-down defense position. So the only issue is that Maizen Mitsu is pretty much locked, which is a bit of a shame, but is what it is. Anyway, we're going to pass to our opponent's turn, and what we're going to do here is during our opponent's turn, we've got the ability of a quick effect during their main phase or battle phase to fusion into a ninja fusion. So by doing so, you're going to use your Tabari and your Green Ninja, and you're going to go into your Maizen. You put it in attack if you want to. 2500 is obviously going to be better than 15. And what that will then allow you to do is that will then allow you to trigger the Green Ninja effect. So the Green Ninja effect is, if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you get to target a monster on the field and chase it face up attack or face down defense. So you can either Book of Moon your opponent's monster, or you can flip up your own Mitsu, and then Mitsu then gives you an additional form of negation. Again, if your opponent activates anything, you get to special summon a monster, so then that's where you can special summon out another Tabari, or you can special summon out the Hanzo, and Hanzo will then be able to trigger effects off as well. So it's very reactive to what your opponent is doing, and we haven't even activated Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves. So it depends on if you're waiting on your opponent to Book of Moon their card, or if you want to start triggering your own cards. And let's just go on the assumption that our opponent activates a card effect. Like, it's going to be very difficult for them not to be able to activate a card effect while Maizen is on the board. And then we get to special ninja from the deck. So obviously the one you're going to want to go for is going to be Hanzo. Now obviously when it is special summoned or flip face up, you get to add a ninja monster. So if you watch Jesse Cotton's video, this is kind of where he just goes pretty ham. You could go into the Yugioh. Yugioh would obviously then Book of Moon cards as well, which is really kind of cool. But this is going off of Jesse's play. So you add the Baku, and then with Baku, if it's added to your hand, except by drawing it, you get to special summon it. And then if it is special or flipped, you get to target a ninja monster or a ninjutsu art card in your graveyard, and then add it back to the hand. So what makes that so good is you can then loop back the Green Ninja. And keep in mind that if a monster is special summoned to your field face up or face down, you get to target one of them and then special summon this back. So you're pretty much able to go, okay, add the Baku, special the Baku, and then you've still got the ability of Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves as well. So you haven't even used this. Baku can add back the Tabari if you want it to, or you can add back the Green Ninja. You've maintained a bit of resource. You've still got the ability of Mitsu negate at Venture at one point as well. So keep that in mind. The fact that you've Book of Moon one of your opponent's monsters as well, that's when Ninjutsu Art comes into like its full potential. So you get to activate it, tribute in this face down monster, so straight away you've got rid of a card that could be like a mini towers or something. And then you get to special summon a ninja monster from the deck. So again, you've just got plays that loop around, and that's where it gets really, really crazy, because then you can go into Hanzo then searches you out another ninja, and before you know it, you've replenished your entire hand, and you've just really annoyingly kind of controlled the way your opponent is playing. And that's what makes the ninjas so cool. You do have to be kind of cautious though, is that when they are... Hanzo does have the capability to miss timing as well, so that's one thing to keep in mind. So we're going to shuffle up, we'll do another test down going first. Again, like I said, these aren't... You're not going to see, unless you open up the 3-card combo, you're not going to see like this deck going absolute ham in forms of combos. It's more about controlling how your opponent is going to play. So, next one is 1, 2, 3... If I see a third Hanzo, Jesus, 5. Okay, now this is probably a more common hand for the ninjas, but this is actually like, this is a really good hand still as well. So a lot of people are like, whoa, you've not really got anything. I mean, I've got an Ash, which is a good interruption. I've got the ability to set the Dancing Leaves and set the Ninjutsu Art. So for those of you who don't know, the notebook is if your opponent controls any card, which is mental, you get to set up to 1 ninjutsu monster and 1 ninjutsu art spell or trap accept itself from the deck. So deck and or graveyard, but you have to have 1 come from each, which is a big sad, because it means, well, I mean, it's not the end of the world, because you can get Hanzo to the graveyard quite easily. And what I mean by that, so you're going to set these, you're going to hold on to the Hanzo, move these up so you can see the hand as well. You can normal summon the Hanzo. Hanzo effect will trigger to let you add a Ninjutsu Art card, so we're going to go for duplication, and then we're going to activate the duplication. Now, again, very, very simple hand, but this hand's actually really good. So we're going to pass to our opponent, okay? You've got the ability to activate the Ninjutsu Art duplication, so you tribute off the Hanzo, and then this will let you special summon monsters up to its numbers, up to its levels. So what you want to do here is you want to put a Green Ninja face up, face down, doesn't really matter. All you need to remember is that you want to have a Tabari face up, and you want to have a Tabari face down. So there's your 2 level 1s, and a level 2 equals up to a level 4. So then what you've got here is you've got the quick effect of Tabari, and again we're pretty much replicating what we did previously. Is you'd activate the effect of Tabari. Tabari would then contact fuse itself and the Green Ninja. This will then go into Maizen. You then use Green Ninja's effect to Book of Moon one of your opponent's monsters. We've already activated duplication this turn. But then on top of that as well, you can activate the Dancing Leaves, getting rid of this opponent's monster. And then you're going to be able to special summon a ninja monster from the deck. So that then gives you access to, we'll do this a little bit differently to the previous one. You can go to the Yugioh. Yugioh, when it is special summon, gives you the nice ability of Book a Moon and more monsters. So again, you don't need to use the ninjutsu arts like early doors. But if it's normal, special, or flip face out, you get to target up 2 face up monsters on the field, changing the face down defense position. So we'll Book a Moon 2 more monsters. Our opponent controls the monster, so we can activate the ninjutsu art, and then this will of course set us up more cards for the next turn. So we can set for another duplication if we want to. We then get to set Hanzo or a Tabari or even a green ninja, so we can use this effect again the next turn. So we've done this, we've Book a Moon 3 monsters, we've tributed one of them off. You've also got the ability to get into the Iron Digger if you want to, but I suppose that could be instead of the ninjutsu art. And we've ashed them. So, okay, they're not playing. It comes back to us. Keep in mind, Maizen has the insane ability to let all ninja monsters attack directly. So, you know, Yugioh, that's going to be good. Flip up Tabari. You don't even need to flip up the green ninja. You can then activate, or don't even need to flip up the Tabari, to be honest. You just contact fuse. And then it's entirely up to you what you want to go to. So we'll go to another Maizen. And straight away, Maizen's being able to attack directly. So is your Yugioh. And that is 5, 6, 7, 7, 7 on board. And we haven't even normal summoned our another Hanzo. So normal summon Hanzo, game. So you can kind of see, like, again, we're just controlling the board. If your opponent puts multiple monsters on the board, you go for the Yugioh from the deck. If your opponent doesn't put multiple monsters on the board and they only put like 1 or 2, then instead of the Yugioh, you go for like resource management off of the back of the Hanzo or something else as well. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle this up. And we'll start going second now. So we'll start to see how the deck operates to break boards. It's a little bit more difficult, but that's where the hand traps come in, and this is why it's really important to watch, I would say, to watch the Jesse Cotton duel from YCS Vegas, because you'll see how he kind of, yes, he did get like double ash and everything, but you'll see how he controls a buy-steal board or a branded buy-steal board being built, which is quite important. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100% ash has been used. Definitely, no matter what deck you're facing, if you're over not 2 ash, you're definitely using that. And then we're going to draw for our 6th return, Hanzo and Mitsu. So, I mean, depending on what you're facing, obviously if you're against cash tierers, you can Regeki them, and that's going to clear their board off apart from Shangri-La, so your zones will still be locked, but you won't need to deal with a Fenrir, you won't need to deal with a Rise Heart or anything like that. So with a hand like this, you're going to normal summon your Hanzo. Hanzo's effect's going to go, and this is where you're just going to take it back to the basics. So you'd go for your ninjutsu art of duplication, and then I would special summon down the Mitsu. And the reason you do that is after you activate the duplication, you're going to pretty much set up a very good kind of level of play. So the thing is, obviously, we could, if you wanted to, you could go into a Saizo, you could go into a Maizen. It depends what you're trying to get past. Ultimately, let's double check the Yagamaru. If this card is special summoned or actually by triggering above card, if this card is special summoned or flip face out, you banish one other ninja or ninjutsu art card from your hand, graveyard, or face up in the field, target one card in the field, banish it. I suppose this would complete the Shangri-La, but the issue is you then don't have. I mean, you could tribute off the Yagamaru, don't really. Okay, fine. So I suppose the best way, considering we're going second, to clear off this Shangri-La is we'll go into the Yagamaru. Yagamaru's effect will then banish this by banishing one from the graveyard. So we'll get rid of, well, you want to loop the Hanzo really, so I'll have to get rid of Mitsu. We'll get rid of Mitsu from the graveyard. And then you get to attack him for 2k. This is obviously on the assumption that we're facing against a Castro board. If you're up against a branded board, you obviously probably don't want to be using Regeki, because then Mirror J can trigger and your board will be completely empty. So then what you do is, during your opponent's turn, you've then got the ninjutsu art duplication, so this will then allow you to tribute off the Yagamaru. Now, you tribute one ninja, special on any number of ninjas monsters from your deck, face out tap position and or face down, with combined levels less than or equal, so it doesn't need to be exactly 5, so you can basically do the exact same Hanzo combo, but you probably can go a little bit more. Let's go for, trying to think the best way of doing this. I mean, ideally you want to go for the same kind of route, is you'd probably want to go for one face up Tabari, one face down Tabari, and then one green ninja. I mean, you could get the third Tabari out just to kind of complete your plays. I could go for a Mitsu as well. Like, you don't really want to undervalue your levels. So just because I've got the 3 Tabaris, I'm going to put the third one on the board, just because I've got them out of the deck. And then again, you've got the ability during your opponent's turn to contact fuse. So let's say they special summon down a unicorn trying to get their plays going again. You use Tabari to go into Maizen. This will then allow you to use Green Ninja to book that unicorn that's just come down before it's even been able to activate its effect. If they've got Birth on the board that they can allow to then bring back a Fenrir or something, they activate Birth. You've then got Maizen's effect, so then Maizen will let you special summon one from the deck. So you'll go for, let's go for Yugioh. And the best thing about Yugioh is it targets up to 2. So it's entirely up to you if you want to use both of them or if you only want to use one of them. So you can use Yugioh's effect, Book a Moon, the monster they've just brought back off of Birth, and then that's it. So then all they've got is if they got Birth, they can then normal summon a monster, which is absolutely fine, because then let's say they went, okay, they bring back Birth, bring back Fenrir for Birth, use Fenrir's effect, search out Rise Heart, for example. They've already got a Book of Moon monster, so they need to special summon a monster or normal summon a monster down. They do that, then you use Maizen. Well, you can't do it on the nap, but you could do it on the resolution. And basically, the idea is you're Book of Moon your opponent's monsters. They're not going to be able to play. You've got Ash to stop any particular type of search. And then they're passing back to you. And again, it's pretty much game. So you draw for turn. Rota, okay. Draw for turn. You don't even need to flip the Tabaris. So you can just contact fuse those. Let's go into a Maizen. Oh, sorry, they've got to be different types. Can't use... Oh, well, that's actually easier. Normal summon Hanzo. Hanzo's effect will set you in Ninjutsu Art. So you can go for an Ninjutsu Art notebook. And then you can contact fuse using one Tabari and the Hanzo. And you'll go into a second Maizen. The issue with this one is this one's not... it's not really got any attack stats, which is a shame. And it's only during your opponent's main phase or battle phase. But anyway, keep that face down. You can flip it up during the next turn if you want to. I still activate the Ninjutsu Art, I suppose. So you activate the Ninjutsu Art. Just don't set it, just add it. Activate this. We will set Green Ninja. I mean, you can set anything you want, really. Set Green Ninja. Search out a Ninjutsu Art, so we'll search out Dancing Leaves, and then contact fuse green. And if they've got another monster, you book a moon it. You can go for a Maizen if you want to, or you can go to Yagamaru. It doesn't matter. These are all going to be able to attack directly, and you just go straight over the defense line. So again, you kind of saw that we were able to break a board. I'm using Kashtira's as the example because this has the best matchup against Kashtira's, and then of course. Kashtira's are pretty much everywhere. So the idea of why ninjas are so good right now is that they do have a great matchup against Kashtira's. So you kind of want to symbolize that as well. Anyway, we're going to shove this up. We're going to go second for the last time. This is just to kind of give you a basis of the type of plays the deck can make, what the control routes are, when you want to interact, and then me just kind of theory casting of how you're going to break a specific board or how you're going to play around a specific board as well. So for the final time, after a cut, our 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ash was used. 6. God, why can't I see Ash this consistently in all my decks? Okay, cool. So I mean, we've not got board breaking presence, so we're in a bit of a stronger issue here. But we're going to use Rota. Rota will allow us to search out. I mean, we could go for a Green Ninja. I mean, Green Ninja would give me a very nice ability to book a moon. Let me just double check. I could go for the Kagero. It's not really a big issue. Activate Tabari's effect. Tabari effect will then allow me to ditch itself to special and down the Hanzo. Hanzo effect. When it's fit to special, get to add a ninja monster. Now again, in a Kashtira monster matchup, you'll probably do this a little bit differently because if you normal this and activate the effect, chances are they're going to Fenrir banish it. And by activating Tabari, they'll then still be able to go Fenrir banish it. So you just have to kind of think ahead a little bit, but you know, keep that in mind. On this one, we're going to go for the Baku. You've then got a couple of chain links you can make. So if you wanted to, you can book a moon that your own Hanzo, which is absolutely fine. The Baku will special summon itself as well. So if a monster is special summoned to your field, face up, except during damage state, you get to target one of them to special summon this card from the hand. And if you do, you book a moon this card. The Baku will let you add back the Tabari. So you've got the ability of special summoning down Green Ninja to book a moon the Hanzo. You've then got the ability to special summon the Baku, and the Baku is going to allow you to add back the Tabari. So this is when you can normal summon the Tabari now if you want to, and you can contact fuse these two. These two will lead you into a Maizen. This is obviously going to Book of Moon, one of your opponent's monsters, because you use Green Ninja to do so. You still then have the ability of Tabari to contact fuse if you want to. Again, it depends what you want to go further into. You could go into a Saizo as well. You do have the ability of the Ninjutsu Art of Duplication. Saizo would then give you the ability to kind of reuse some materials. So let's link these two into a Saizo. Use Saizo's effect to set a Ninjutsu Art. So let's go for the Digger tool. So then it does special in face down defense, which isn't the end of the world really. Trying to think of the best way we want to do this one. I mean, you can activate the tool and you can equip it to the Maizen, and then what you can do is you can destroy the tool. And then you get to, oh sorry, you need to banish one of your ninjas. So you banish the Hanzo, and then you Book of Moon the Hanzo, or the Baku, or the Green Ninja. Doesn't really make much of a difference. Just trying to think the amount of the best advantage we can get from this. Would it be Hanzo? I'm not sure. But the idea would be that if your opponent activates a card effect, you're going to get to special summon out a ninja monster. So that's your Yugioh. That's Book of Moon and 2 more monsters. Let me just double check whether the wording is specifically to... when your opponent activates a card effect, you can special summon one ninja monster from your day, face up or face down defense. You have to come into defense. So I suppose with the Growing Ninja, you then Book of Moon 2 more monsters. Let's move those down a little bit. Then Book of Moon 2 more monsters. And then you've got the contact fuse capabilities again to go into a second Maizen if you want to. Which would then go these two. It's a shame that we're just that little bit short. So that's only 7,000 damage on the board. It's a shame Green Ninja can't Book of Moon again. So activate the set the ninjutsu art. Sorry. You can attack directly. You can go straight in for 7k. Maybe I've missed something to complete the OTK. Possibly. Another way of doing it is if you're worried about one of these, is you can actually go into the Yagamaru. And the Yagamaru will allow you to banish one of these. So if one of them is a massive threat to you, you banish it. And go from there. So keeping in mind is when you do so, you've got to banish a ninja or a ninjutsu art card from your hand of graveyard, which is very easy because you've got loads to deal with. Okay, so this would put damage up at 6-5 directly with 2 monsters left. And then I've got the duplication. So let's say we pass our opponent's turn anyway. We can activate the duplication. I'll probably get rid of the Yagamaru and go for the 5. And we'll probably do the exact same thing that we did last time. So we've got Tabari face up, Green Ninja face down, which is why I quite like playing 2 of it. And then I've got another Tabari, or I can go for a Mitsu. Let's go for a Mitsu. At least with that I can put a face up. Face up tap, sorry. So it needs to specifically be like that. But then what I've got here, again, I've got Tabari effect, contact fuse these during my opponent's turn. Again, because I want to be a little bit interruptive, I could go for the Yagamaru because I've already got the Maizen on the board. Yagamaru can banish another one from the graveyard, banish another one of these. And then if our opponent activates any card effect, activate Maizen. Maizen will then let me special summon my second Yugioh. Yugioh then Book of Moon to 2 more monsters. And then they're locked in that position as well. So you can kind of see that there's ways of controlling the board and picking a board apart slowly but surely, and then obviously we've got another Ash. So it definitely takes a little bit to get used to, because you need to know, like, off the ninjutsu art duplication, you need to know what you're going to tribute, what you're going to summon, and then you need to know when do you fuse, when do you contact fuse, when do you leave Tabari face up, when do you put Tabari face down. Do you go for all Tabaris? Do you go for a couple of Tabaris? How do you kind of manipulate the levels when you're trying to summon off of the ninjutsu art of duplication? But, you know, they're still really kind of cool cards. Even if you don't go for duplication, you go for Dancing Leaves as well. So, yeah, I've kind of got Raigekis in here. It was kind of like those 3 flex spots that I had in the profile. And thanks to the track structured out, I was like, you know what, let's put Raigekis in here. But this can be anything. It can be evenly matches if you're worried about it. It can be dusters if you're worried about back row. Everything else. The biggest issue with a deck like this is it kind of really wants its normal summon. I know if you open up Tabari and Hanzo, you don't worry, but it kind of wants its normal summon. So if you do lose that, it can be a little bit tricky. So that's why Lava Golem and Rasphere mode isn't the best. But still kind of a cool option. Anyway, I hope this has been informative and given you a basic breakdown of the deck. I'm still learning the Ninja deck myself to get it to the capacity that I want it to be at. But hopefully this has given you a couple of ideas of how to play it and routes around and plays you're going to make with it as well. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, guys, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.